The situation on the Ukrainian border is in a precarious condition after rumors circulated that 100,000 Russian military troops had appeared on the front lines, although Russia has not yet given an official statement about 100,000 troops on the border between the two countries. However, Ukraine was already in a state of fear. Meanwhile, on Monday, February 14, 2022, Qulaiba claimed to have asked Russia for an official statement regarding the 100,000 soldiers, but the Kremlin ignored it. "That's why I was forced to resort to the last resort," he urged, for an immediate meeting with Russia and member states of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Osce Europe. Failed to respond to our request under the Vienna documents. As a result, we take the next step. We request a meeting with Russia and all participating countries within 48 hours to discuss reinforcement and redeployment along the border. Us and the cream of the world are halfway between. If Russia is serious when it comes to the inseparability of security in the OSG 77 space, it must fulfill its commitment to military transparency in order to reduce tensions and improve security for all. So far, Ukraine has been trying to prevent clashes with the Russian military. Various diplomacy has been carried out, including asking for directions from President Joe Biden. It is necessary to know that the problems on the borders of Russia and Ukraine have been going on for a long time. Even in 2014 there was a great battle on the border of the two countries. On the other hand, Washington and several other countries have reduced or evacuated embassy staff and urged their nationals to leave immediately or avoid travel to Ukraine. President Joe Biden's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said Russia's invasion of Ukraine could start at any time. In recent times, Russia has amassed thousands of troops near the Ukrainian border. This has sparked fears that Russia may be planning another military attack against Ukraine. The United States and its allies are threatening Russia with severe consequences if it invades Ukraine. The clashes seen in Intel Mossad recordings show that there were dozens of American tanks, main battle tanks Abrams, in the Polish Crusher city, which borders only 18 kilometers with the Russian territory of Kaliningrad. Several trains were seen with heavy tanks, one Abrams America, and also carrying armored personnel, which until now it is not known where exactly the vehicles in main battle. These American tanks are being transported. Maybe these American tanks will be piled up on the Belarusian border or will indeed be on standby in Polish territory. I don't know what is clear now that America seems to want to return to Russia to reheat the Ukrainian border. This incident occurred after Russian President Mr. Putin met with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in Moscow. Russian President Vladimir Putin said Russia, of course, does not want war. According to him, Russia is ready to find a solution with the West and with NATO when Russia withdraws a small number of its troop tanks to return to the American headquarters, instead trying to send their main battle tank. What is clear is that the escalation between America, Russia, Ukraine and NATO is still far from peaceful. Currently, American troops serving in Europe are estimated to number around 80,000 people, both at fixed stations and in rotating numbers. But American troops will not enter Ukrainian soil. Only their weapons will reach Ukrainian soil, in addition to American troops who will be deployed to Poland. About 1,000 troops based in Germany will be transferred to Romania. It looks like America is still very much ready while Russia wants to negotiate, but with Stalinium tanks on the border. Ukraine's ambassador to the UK, Fading Freestyle, said his country might cancel plans to join the North Atlantic or NATO Security Pact to prevent a conflict from breaking out with Russia. We probably know, considering being forced to do that and being pushed to do that, i.e. not joining NATO, said My Shield. By Nola My Shield revealed that her country will reconsider their desire to enter NATO. What I'm saying right now is we are flexible, trying to find the best way. If you have to go through a serious concession, don't enter, or is something we'll do, that's for sure. Emphatically Freestyle, you are evil. This decision is also supported by representatives of the Ukrainian military blog, but your Freestyle highlights the status of Ukraine, which is not part of any military alliance, saying JIF has the potential to face military conflict alone. If it happens, we will come back again, not protected by anyone. No friends don't become members of an alliance, even though everyone else, our neighbors, have joined the organization. The word Freestyle KO refers to Poland, Slovakia, Romania, Bulgaria, and Turkey. Meanwhile, Russia expresses concern over NATO expansion in the East. Russia has also asked for guarantees for Ukrainian timber, mainly JIT, cannot be part of NATO. America and NATO remain confident that Russia will attack Ukraine, even though Moscow has begun withdrawing troops from the borders of American President Joe Biden claims that 150,000 Russian troops remain in threatening positions around Ukraine. He again warned that an invasion was still very likely in his speech ending February 15, 2042. Good afternoon, and again combined two things, namely an offer for security talks with threats of severe repercussions if Russia carried out an attack on the president. Also said he would rally the world against Russian military action, but he explained his response would be to emphasize the economic sector. I would not send American soldiers to fight in Ukraine, he said, but he explained that any attack on NATO territory or harming Americans would be treated differently. Earlier on Tuesday, Russia announced it had begun the partial withdrawal of Russian troops from the Ukrainian border. Asked about the reasons for the withdrawal of Russian President Vladimir Putin refused to answer. He only said it was a partial withdrawal of troops from our training area. What to comment on, he said, while NATO is urging Russia to prove it pulled its troops back from around the Ukrainian border. NATO's Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg say that Moscow is still stocking up a lot of troops near its neighbors despite declaring it has withdrawn, just to report NATO's position on Russia's military development has not changed. Even though Moscow announced its troop withdrawal, the alliance is very confident that Russia is ready to potentially invade Ukraine. Moscow reportedly welcomed a positive signal from the agency regarding the talks. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said it could welcome the President of the United States to think about Russia but would prefer not to hear threats about what might happen to Russia. We are tired of this, he stressed. Russia itself also continues to quip in the Western media, which constantly predicts there will be attacks, but it never comes true. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova jokingly asked the American and British media to release the next invasion schedule. I would like to request American information from Britain such as Bloomberg, the New York Times and Media and the Sun to publish the schedule of our upcoming invasion. This doctrine I would like planning my vacation, he said via a Telegram account. On the other hand, China accuses America and its Western allies of playing the threat of war and creating tension amid the Ukraine crisis. A spokesman for the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Wang Wenbin, said that constant reporting and disinformation by several Western countries will create turbulence and uncertainty for a challenging world. And intensifying challenges and divisions from Ukraine. Reported Wednesday, February 16, 2022 was actually declared a day of unity in his speech. President Volodymyr Zelensky said,